With me today, Mr. Energy himself, Twin Empire times two,
Yes, sir.
and and it's going to be a high energy show today. We're going to talk about these playoffs, Niners' first games of the playoffs, divisional round, Green Bay Packers. They've been talking a lot of stuff. You know what it is, but before we get to any of it, we got to hit the music.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I like to know.
are you ready for start time?
And once again, it is Peter Lucas. This is the Niner Fanatic Podcast. And once again, I got with me today Mr. Twin Empire times two. And Twin, why don't you say hi to the people? Why don't you say hi to the people and let them know where they can find you on the socials?
Hey, man, what it do, man? What's good? Good Friday to each and every last one of you guys, man. Thank you for tuning in to my boy Pete Lucas channel, a.k.a. the Niner Fanatic Podcast, man. Hope you guys are doing. Y'all can follow your boy Twin on YouTube at Twin Empire _ man. Make sure y'all follow, give me a like, you know what I'm saying, in the comment. You can even heart me if you like to, you know what I'm saying? I'll heart you back. And then also you can follow me on the one and only, the X app, you know what I'm saying? X marked the spot. But anyway, Twin Empire _ times two. Well, I don't do the times twos no more, but it's Twin Empire _ now. So y'all just hit me up right there, man. Follow me on Twitter too as well. And yeah, man, I'm geeked up. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here sizzling.
We almost got into it before we could even hit the live button. I got all the energy in the world. I'm almost at twin level energy right now, like getting ready for this game tomorrow. And it is first game of the playoffs, all the jitters, they're coming. And we got the Green Bay Packer fans have been popping off on
For
Twitter.
sure.
If you guys are on Twitter, they have been popping off all week long. And for a 9-8 team, you would have thought they were 13 and 4 or 13 and 5, whatever it is now. Before we get into that, make sure you give this video a like. Make sure that you give it a subscribe. Make sure that you hit the bell so you get the notifications for when I go live. And just remember, we're on Twitter. We are on Facebook. We are on YouTube. And if you don't like looking at my face, you can always catch the audio version anywhere where you can get your audio podcast. I don't care where you get it. Just get it.
Hey. I hope you like looking at my face, man. Make sure y'all go to YouTube, find me on your digital platform where you see me live and direct, baby. Let's go. It's game time.
I've been rejected too many times, bro. We don't care. You don't care after a while.
Hold on, you a hip hop head. One of the most legendary lines. Shout out to my bro Law Nation, man. I know he out here. He told me when we was a youngin'. He said, that one song by Biggie, "Talk Your Game, Spit Your."
Yeah.
Hey, what was one of his famous? What was his famous lines?
Which one? I used many of them.
Out of all of them, you just gotta like one. You know what I'm saying? He said, "Look, out of all these, you just need one. The law average is gonna be on your side, man. Look, out of 100, you just need one to say yeah, man. So play the numbers game."
Oh, Biggie had to have spit to like 20 million. Because he just said ashy and classy.
Big, fat, and ugly as ever. You know what I'm saying?
As ever. So first step to the Super Bowl for the 49ers. We can stop talking about bye weeks and rust and are they not gonna be prepared? Game here now. The game is here now. So this is the first step for the 49ers to the Super Bowl. This is what the 49ers have been working all season for. All the records being broken, all the guys hitting 1,000 yards, all Brock proving that he should be the starter all season and still proving having to prove stuff, even though he already won 2 playoff games last year. He's still having to prove himself, but all of that is out the window because now it's time for the game. And our first matchup is against the Green Bay Packers, who just demolished the Dallas Cowboys. But my first question for you is, how impressive was that win actually against the Cowboys? And did you think that the Packers had a chance going in?
Well, I told my brother before the game, man. For those who don't know, my brother is a big Cowboy fan. And so, like
Shout out
any
to Law.
siblings, yeah, like any siblings, we get on the phone, we have an authentic conversation about what it is that we're going to watch. I believe you got to have a person in your corner where all subjectivity is moved and removed out the window. Y'all can have an objective conversation about what's to go down, man. So when my brother hit me up, man, we talked about the football game and exactly what I told him that could happen in which they would lose the game is what happened. You know what I mean? I said, hey, bro, one thing for sure, two things for certain. Y'all 8-0 at home. I went to the game maybe 2 weeks ago against Philadelphia. I watched that game. I was there in the building. I felt the vibes. I saw the energy, so on and so forth. And so, like, man, these people was out there. They was going crazy. And I said, bro, first thing y'all need to do is continue to establish your run and make sure you keep your fans excited and energetic, you know what I mean? Because y'all already have the mystique of being undefeated at home. What you don't need is for you guys to have an early turnover, those guys to get ahead and doubt to creep in. You don't want that to happen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
First thing first happened is they got the ball first. They ran the ball down their throat. They didn't pass the ball down their throat. They asserted their dominance by running the ball down their throat. And it first and foremost acquired the crowd because it felt like right then and there, that little doubt of what everybody may have about that in the god doggone Cowboys, you know what it did? That joker did like this. And look, everybody in that doggone stadium felt that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then after that, everything else was history, man.
Yeah, man. Okay, so that game, I thought that the Packers had a chance because my main thing was that they run the Shanahan offense. And what does the Shanahan offense do to Dallas? Every single time it creeps in the building, their defense can't handle the motion. They can't handle seeing the set getting different looks out of the same alignments. They can't do it. And I think that's exactly what happened. It's the same reason why the 49ers beat them. They were beating them with 21 personnel. They're just running, like you said, running the ball down their throat, and they couldn't handle that wide zone run. Which, to be honest, they ran the ball a little bit better than the 49ers did the last time they were in Dallas.
Oh yeah.
Like
personnel though. Remember,
yeah.
they still had LVE at the time. I think he got injured on the left toss that Christian ran, and I believe it was Trent Williams who kind of backed into him and didn't necessarily try to hurt his neck, but ended up hurting him.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah, it was a really, I won't say surprising game because I feel like Green Bay has just been a little inconsistent all season. They just one game they look like world beaters. The next game they look like a team full of first and second year guys. They're very talented, ton of talent. Yeah. They don't always put it all together. So
What up,
I wasn't.
Red?
Oh, I didn't even see her come in. What's going on, Red Jet? and what's going on to the people in the chat? DP, appreciate you coming through. Danielle, appreciate you. Always a good to see you. And don't bother me. That's the first time I see it. It must be one of your people. And
no.
But yeah, I just look at for me it was still an impressive win because going in, they had to go into Dallas. Dallas, I just feel like I just feel like it comes down to Dallas is exactly who we thought they were. They're just as inconsistent as the Green Bay Packers. 1 minute they look like world beaters, the next minute they look like they shouldn't even be out there. So it is what it is. But I did think that that they had a chance going in. I just didn't know it would be like that. I thought it was going to be a high scoring game and that they might be able to pull it out at the end. But but yeah, like Aaron, were you surprised by Aaron Jones? Like and the way he ran the ball, because I mean he's been dinged up for most of the season, and
Hmm.
like I was surprised he actually made it through the whole game.
I
But
mean,
how did you feel about
I think you just said something though. Like we got a running back who's been in the league as long as he's been in. He's not a real old guy, but he's right around that Christian McCaffrey age, I believe he came in.
hmm
And so he missed majority of this season with injuries. And so he had the opportunity to kind of not necessarily get a lot of hits and things of that nature built up on him. And so when he came in the last 4 weeks, you're talking about a really good running back with fresh legs, and then someone who is experienced as well. You know, his first couple of years, he's going to the playoffs. They're number one seed. He has an MVP behind him who's quarterbacking him and teaching him the ropes and things of that nature. So a guy like him having the experience that he does have, been underneath Aaron Rodgers as well, and understanding the playoff mentality and things that you need to look out for, I believe he had his young guys ready. I think he's a good guy as far as communication, and he went out there and ran like a top 5, top 10 running back. And he has been a top 10
hmm
running back since he's
before?
been in
Yeah,
the league. It's just that injuries really just got on him. And so he wasn't necessarily be able to be performing as well as he once was. So, again, his performance alone, establishing that running game, it just ate them boys up. I mean, and then the defensive personnel that Dallas had out there wasn't necessarily one to kind of to be scared of when you got guys who are my size out there playing your Mike and your in your wheel linebacker. You know what I'm saying? I'm 6'2", 220. Ain't no way in the world your guy's supposed to be out here 6'2", 205 and trying to go against a 315 plus pound right tackle. Like, bro,
yeah, yeah,
that's not
yeah.
it.
It's so I want to bring up what because this guy had a good point, and it's something I thought about on a earlier show. But I said he says I believe him. Green Bay wants to come in and punch us in the mouth first, but I don't think they're quite ready for Armstead, Bosa, Hargrave. I I take it a step further than that. Like because I absolutely think Green Bay is going to try and come in and match the 49ers, what the 49ers have been known for, to be physical. I don't necessarily think they're as physical this season as they have been in the past, but
Yeah.
I still don't think that they're going to be pushing around Ayuk and Debo like they were pushing around CD and the Dallas wide receivers. What do you think about the physical nature of Green Bay's defense, and are they going to be able to like match the 49ers energy?
Man, listen here. One thing you know for sure, God dog it, you ain't gonna do Debo like that because you gonna
No.
get them hangs right back to you. But in another
Mhm.
thing, the linebacker core that we do have, we don't need to take our best edge rusher, which is Bosa, and put him in the Mike position to play linebacker. We already have a guy by the name of All Pro Fred right there.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And so with his ability to go across field, far as covering vertically and also horizontally, and then you have the thumper in the one and only great Dre Greenlaw, who's coming back. He had a couple weeks to rest as well. He'd been dealing with lower extremity injuries for this entire year, as far as his ankle being hurting, aka his Achilles or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And so when you got guys out there who's been healthy, getting their bodies together, they ready to thud. You know what that means when you play football. They're ready to
Yeah.
thud. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm excited because one thing we know, we had the opportunity to look at this team go out there and execute against the Cowboys. And so we don't have to worry about these guys coming in here and doing something that we don't expect them not to do. We seen, you know what I mean? So thank God the
Mhm.
Cowboys were the ones that go out there, got their butt beat. I ain't mad, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate
But you look, you put us on high alert, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you. Yeah.
oh, okay, God dog.
Yeah.
I see you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm glad that we weren't the first
Yeah.
team. I'm glad that we weren't the first team to go at these dudes. But yeah, it just like you mentioned, it's playoff football. It's playoff football time. And I feel like the 49ers have done an awesome job in past years of getting the energy level up. And in the past, this defense has been physical enough to keep the team in it, even when the offense wasn't really scoring as many points. This season is a little bit different. I want to say, like from a defensive standpoint, they're not as physical, I would say. Like we've seen it at times and like flashes of it, but not consistently. And definitely, even though they are, I think they're still a top 3 in run defense. Like I think they're like top 3 in rushing total rushing yards. But it just looks different. And there's been times when I feel like they've looked like they could be had in the run game. Are you worried at all about that aspect of it, and that we may not look as physical in this game?
This is where your veterans and your home field advantage is supposed to come in. You know what I mean? And so, like, if you don't have the energy for the playoff game, knowing what you just saw last week, hey, God dog it. Hey, then we ain't meant to make it. You know what I mean? This is not the time for you to sit here and act as if you got it tomorrow. You know, every bit of ounce of physicality that you do have, this is when the veterans of the team, like the Nick Bosa's, the Eric Armstead, and and the Gibson say, hey man, I know we didn't necessarily play our best physical football in the last 6-7 weeks, you know what I'm saying? But what a perfect time to restart. What a perfect time to rebound. What a perfect time to be rejuvenated. What's a perfect time to be refreshed? What a perfect time to go out here and respond in the manner in which we have not been doing over the last several weeks when it comes against the running game. You know what I mean? Let's sit here, use today as a perfect opportunity to start a new run, a new streak, and let's start dominating in the trenches. Because one thing we know, if you dominate in the trenches as far as offense or defense, you usually have an opportunity to be there at the end of the game to win. And so for us to have the talent that we do have, there's no excuse. If you ask me, if I got a man named Nick Bosa who got $34 million on his head, hey, God dog it, I need you to go out there and set the tone. Man, we paying you all this money. Last year, you didn't necessarily show up like we thought you should have in the playoffs. This year, show them why we paid you the money and why you was DPOY last year. I need you to go out there and show some love to Mr. Love himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And I don't think it's just Nick. I know he's got all the money, but at the same time, Javon Hargrave got a lot of money too. And
not really. It's like saying
not compared to Nick Bosa, but I mean, he's still got a lot of money. He's still got a lot of money. He need to be showing up as well. And honestly, they all just need to show up. Chase Young trying to get a contract. And then you got Kinlaw trying to get a contract. Eric Armstead is been known to play well in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So we know these are things that we're expecting to happen. But I'm just hoping that coverage, that coverage team, that secondary can keep them. I get it, bend but don't break. But at the same time, I don't want them taking up all the time off the clock either. So I want our secondary to be a little physical. And we got Mooney Ward has been way more aggressive. He's actually been catching the ball instead of just breaking up passes. It's been nice seeing him get a little bit more aggressive in that way. And Diamador Lenore, I'm sorry, he has been good all season long, in my opinion, and has gotten very little accolades. And they've been putting him everywhere, from guarding the number 1 to the other side. Then they put him in the nickel. I mean, he is, and we're looking to see what we're going to see from Ambry as well. But we're going to get to that the defense in a little bit. But I want to get to the QB comparison, and the reason why I want to get to the QB comparison is because Green Bay fans have been popping a lot of stuff about how great their quarterback is in Jordan Love. And I'm cool with Jordan Love. I thought that he wasn't getting enough recognition, I felt, for what he was doing. And I was all about him until the Green Bay Packers had to play us. Now all of a sudden the Green Bay fans just getting disrespectful now, by talking about our quarterback is this, that, and the third, and speaking about his name. And that's just not. I mean, you can't just wipe away what Brock has done this season. I get it that you had Love had a good stretch down the stretch of games. 49ers weren't playing for nothing in the last 3 games. But how do you feel about Jordan Love and how good the Packer fans think he is?
I mean, so the Packer fans have a right to want to feel good about the quarterback that they do have. Over the last, like I said, 8 to 9 games, for a team that most of us would have thought, let's be honest, would probably be in the lottery. You know what I'm saying? I mean, lottery
I
probably
thought
like
they
a
were going to
top
make the
15.
playoffs. I said they were going to make the playoffs at the beginning of the season.
Well, generally speaking, most probably didn't think they were going to be a playoff team. Mainly because, well, that division wasn't necessarily world beaters. So to have 2 teams coming out of the NFC North would have been a stretch, if you ask me, in my opinion, which we did have as far as the Lions and the Green Bay Packers. But just to say, if we're looking at all these other teams, you would have thought, I mean, there were some better teams that could have possibly made it. But that's neither here or there. Well, once they did make it, they do have experience as far as their coach. We played them twice, knocked them out twice when they were higher seeds. They had a couple bad years, but they was retooling as well. So they should have some faith in Jordan Love to be a young quarterback with a young skill set as far as their weapons. I think nobody on his skill team besides Aaron has been there more than 3 years. All those guys are young guys,
Yep.
All 3 wide receivers are young boys. All the tight ends are young boys. So it's a young team, but to be able to go out there and do what he's doing now, I think that's where they're so excited. It's like a young basketball team in their second year, and they're already making a push in the playoffs. You know what I mean? So I believe that's where that bravado comes from, to have a team so young to turn around so quickly. They just have to say, okay, we may have struck again with a guy by the name of Jordan Love.
Yeah, absolutely. And I get it. At the same time, you ain't got to talk about my quarterback. To say that your quarterback is good. We get it. We get it. At the same time, Brock has been doing historical things, most passing yards of any 49er quarterback now, and put up some crazy efficiency numbers this season. Now, and you can say that it's the weapons around him and but don't think that it's not Jordan Love isn't a part of that same Shanahan scheme and isn't benefiting from that same scheme with his weapons. Granted, like you said, they've got a bunch of young guys over there, but they are talented. I think all Niner fans wanted what's his name, Christian
Watson.
Yeah, Christian Watson. Every 49er fan almost wanted him on the him to get drafted by the 49ers because of Trey Lance. Romeo Dobbs, I liked him coming out. So I knew he was going to be good. But then you got Reed, their other deep wide receiver that they have. What is it? Jalen Reed, I want to say is his name. Yeah, he's nice and as a deep threat. And then they got they got another young tight end in Musgrave, and they have another guy. His name.
They got another tight end. They got a whole bunch of people.
They got
man.
2 tight ends, and
they've
got those running backs. They've got 2 solid running backs, and so I mean, let's not act like they don't have weapons. We're not saying that at all.
No. So now, dang, I hate being this guy, but I got to be this guy. But we do still got to realize, well, these people are coming from the perspective, we love our team. We love the Niners. They're on the outside looking in, looking at our team over the last 3.5, 4 years, knowing, okay, we have babies. Y'all have veterans in these skill positions that's been doing this thing for not only a long time, but even made it to the Super Bowl. Okay. So when we're looking at we can name these guys that they do have, the Watsons, but they never played in the NFC Championship. Debo only knows playing in the Super Bowl, NFC Championship game. Like, these guys have multiple times have been there. So I think sometimes these fans are looking at it from the perspective like, we never had y'all type of talent. One of the reasons why Aaron left, because not saying never, Aaron left because they couldn't accumulate that type of talent with him taking up so much of that cap space. When I'm paying you $55 million a year, you can't have a Debo, Brandon Ayuk, a George Kittle, and Christian McCaffrey. You know what I'm saying? You only get one, which is what? Aaron Jones, you know what I mean? In a young wide receiver. So they're looking at it from the perspective like, hey, man, we got a young quarterback who's able to do this with these type of guys throwing for 4,000 yards where, I mean, we can say, again, I'm not trying to hate on our team, but we got to be honest. Throwing for 4,200 yards is okay. It's good. But for that to be our history, which is a wonderful thing, Green Bay probably saying, man, we had 10 to 12 guys throw for 200 yards.
Yeah, I mean, I
So
get
like
it.
they're looking at the scale like, okay, yeah, he threw for a record, but they're saying like, look at our guy. This is his first year starting too as well. And he threw for 40-some thousand yards and 30 some touchdowns. So they like, and you don't have the defense that y'all have, who y'all been had since 2019. Y'all been a defensive team for that many years. You know what I mean? So we do have to be objective in our way of looking like, okay, this is what we have. This is what we have established compared to this is what they're just starting off to do. You know what I mean? And that's how most people go look at it. Even though we're going to ride for our team, that's the lenses of other teams when they look at our team. And we're not going to shake that. There's no way we can shake it.
Oh no, I get it. I get it. Like it's not a problem. It's still not going to stop me from telling y'all to quiet down. It's still not going to stop me from telling y'all to quiet down because this is the thing. Yes, Brock only got 4,200 yards. I get that part, but in way less attempts. I mean, way less attempts. And then you're going to point to the weapons he has, absolutely. But it's not like he was getting all those yards from yet. And which is something that is consistently spoken about in by most other teams that don't know, that haven't watched the 49ers all season, is that they just think, oh, well, it's just because his other weapons do all the work. And he's got to make those throws. He's got to make those throws. So I really like Brock. I think that he is a really good point guard for this offense, but it's more than that because he makes the right read, he makes the right play at the right time a majority of the time. And that's the key, is that it's just making the right decisions at the right times. It's not always just about the athletic the athletic level. So I get what they're saying, and you can be proud of Jordan Love. I like Jordan Love. I thought that he was going to have a chance to be. I thought that Green Bay was going to have a chance to barely make the playoffs, just like they did, just because I thought that without Aaron Rodgers, now Matt LaFleur was going to have a chance to really run his offense and do what he wanted to do with this team. And I think that's basically what happened. They were a little they're a little wish-washy in the beginning because, like you said, they had all those young players. There's going to be some inconsistency there. And we're going to see if they can be consistent in this game because they just had a really good game against Dallas. Let's see if they can still be consistent and if the 49ers can match that energy.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And this is why I say, like, and I think Brock has excelled at his position as a quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, the position and the standard that he's been brought into, you already know that it's Super Bowl. To me, it's been Super Bowl bust. I don't care what nobody say, God dog it. Ain't no way in the heck we'll have, like, I mean, to know that this is the standard, this is what we going after is number 6. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so for somebody to have that type of pressure around him, I thought he's done exceedingly abundantly and above what we could think and ask of him. You know what I mean? And so we're grateful of that situation. The thing about this is, to me, I don't want to make this a quarterback situation where I'm grading Jordan Love in what's my guy by the name of in Brock Purdy, because at the end of the day, to me, our teams are built so differently. You know what I mean? Like our foundation has been set. We know we have the All-Pro in Fred Warner. We have the Nick Bosa. We have the Greenlaw. We have these players who have done these things and established themselves as winners, as people who go to the NFC Championship games. Like, these guys have been together as a unit, offensively and defensively. And so to just extract a quarterback from both teams is pretty hard to grade because these guys' situations are totally different, man. So that's why I try not to get into that too much, because I don't mind nuances, and that's how I kind of look at certain things. Because, like, my brother, this is how we used to argue all the time, right? Yeah. So my brother, he loves Emmitt Smith, and first thing I'm gonna say is, God dog it, look at your offensive line, bro. Like, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude,
yeah,
you had
Leon Lett and like Nate Newton and all them, like
you had all the big.
Yeah,
you had big old boys out
Troy
there.
Aikman, if you want to go to Troy Aikman too, he was a beneficiary.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. But see, we have to have, like, that's how we and him, that's how I had to fight with him, like, in our discussions. So when people bring out these certain little nuances, I'm like, yeah, I would have done the same thing if I was on the opposing end, because I have to try to pick every little thing that could go against me. I have to, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, that's why I say I like that our team has established themselves as really just a really good team that is right for the picking, you know what I'm saying? Because I believe we have the opportunity to do something special if we keep it simple. That's all we need to do, keep it simple, and we'll be all right.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. Like, but that's the key right there is what you said. Keep it simple, stupid. Come on, Kyle. Come on, Kyle. You know,
Well,
and you twin, you know, I've said this millions of times. Like, I wish Kyle would just be more. He just doesn't do the obvious thing. It's right in front of your face. You got the best. We just started talking, naming off names of all these players they got. Sometimes you just got better players than the other team,
yes,
and
sir.
you don't have to do a double motion to get 2 yards. Like you don't have to
Mano y
do it.
mano.
Yeah, you get your 2 yards. You tell your guys up front, hey, I need 2 yards from you. And you just go and get it. Like, but Kyle has this propensity to overthink and try to be the smartest guy in the room sometimes when it's not necessary. And I'm hoping that in this game, that he takes a more simplistic approach, something that he's done in the past, which is lean on this run game. We've got a stable of horses in that running back room. And like there is no excuse for us not to throw and run the ball down these guys' throats. Like
Man, listen here.
I don't want to see the first 2 drives. I don't want to see the first 2 drives not
Not
getting
straight
a carry.
passes.
Yeah, I
Not
don't want to
look.
see that.
And you know what? Look, when I say this on Spaces, I hear people, man, whatever. I'm like, listen
Yeah.
here. I know y'all love the Niners, and y'all want to say we had chunk yards. We were moving the ball up and down the field. I'm like, you know who else did that crap, man? And I'm not saying this is us, but the Cowboys do that too.
Yep.
But what you do when you go out there, you run the ball, even you establish physicality in the trenches, God dog it. I know we can throw the ball. Okay, it's one thing to know that I can throw the ball, but I'm gonna lick you in the eye as a man, be like, hey, man, for the first 2 minutes, man, I'm number body blows. You understand me?
Yep.
I'm finna show you that I'm ready. I'm finna show you that I'm prepared. I'm finna show you that I'm finna go 12 rounds, but I'm finna start at your liver. I'm finna start at your kidneys. I'm finna start at your abdomen. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so when I'm coming in like that, even though I got the best jab in the world, I'm
Mhm.
telling you as a fighter, I want to go in your inside. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so now that let me know, like as a defender, oh crap, okay, I know you versatile, but you
Yeah.
just want to let me know, just as a man, testosterone on the table. I'm coming in here to take your god doggone chicken. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what when you go out there and run the god doggone ball, man.
Yeah. That I mean, you said it. It's just about those body blows, and you just keep hitting them over and over again. I don't care if they get 2 yards of carry. Like the
Yeah.
point is to keep hitting run just running straight into them, shove it down their throat, pause. But you've got to get to a point to where making it easier for Purdy. Like it doesn't have to be about just because Purdy can do these things doesn't mean he has to. Let's make it easier on him. Get those if they think you're going to run the ball at a certain point, what does that open up? That opens up the play action.
Uh-huh.
And you don't have to do the drop back game as much. Like it's which let's just be honest, the drop back game is not our strength. It's just not our strength. So
Nah.
it is
Play
what
action
it
is necessary.
It's necessary. You hear that, Kyle? It's necessary.
Necessary, god dog it.
Like it's
Because
not
I
even
ain't
a
seen
question.
I haven't seen one game that we didn't that we didn't establish a run and we just sat back and had a drop back pass game and we were successful.
Never.
I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings out there in Ninaland, but that's the god doggone truth.
Well,
Never
I mean,
ever.
that's why they're listening to our show and not ESPN right now. Because ESPN is not going to give you that.
Yeah, god dog it. Shoot, man, I ain't never seen. They know we ain't running the ball. That we got to pass the ball 35 times. Man, listen here. I don't want that smoke. God dog it. You know what I mean?
I mean, Kyle is a great play caller. You know, he's a great offensive mind. All that. His drop back game everybody's got their weakness. His drop back game is not it. It's not it.
And it shouldn't even be a weakness, though, man. That's the thing that
It
I don't
shouldn't.
understand. I don't know.
But the problem is Kyle calls 5 and 7 step drops. He thinks he's Mike Martz out there. Like and like I just don't understand why we can't have a quick passing game that doesn't involve just a screen.
Yeah.
Like why you can't give your quarterback more hot reads. Like it's just weird. It's weird. Everything is long developing and it's just not good. It's not a good look from Kyle.
Yeah.
But everything else, tip top.
It's money.
Yeah,
Hey,
everything else is money.
Hey, if we ahead, y'all can go to bed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's already set in stone. We got a lead. Listen here, we taking that thing to the crib. And so that's the only thing we need to make sure we establish. You know, that's what the running game does. It creates the ability to time of possession is very important as well. If you look at that game against the Cowboys, that first quarter, I believe the god doggone Packers was out there for dang near 11 minutes. When you are playing at home and you have the ability to have the home crowd behind you, and for 10 minutes, they have to sit there and be quiet because they see the ball is being run down your throat 5+ yards per carry. You sucking up all that energy. Everybody who like me and you right now. I don't know about you, god dog, but at work today, man. Listen here. It was hard. It was hard out here, boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I feel like I popped 4 Cialis pills. It was real hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, god dog, I couldn't contain myself. And so you gotta realize all that energy is on me. It's in me. It's the aura. Like I'm ready to go. And you tell me I go to that game, I gotta sit on my hand for like 20 minutes because I'm like, oh my God, we can't do nothing. They just pummeling us over and over again. It sucks the momentum out of you. So that's what we got to make sure we do. Take all this energy, man, and be ready to say, hey, man, that crowd gonna come behind y'all. We gonna be roaring, we gonna be screaming. And we can make sure if it's 4th down and 2, I'm gonna say this right now, Kyle. If we playing at home, it's 4th down and 2, we at the 20-yard line. God dog, you better go for it. Do you understand me? Don't be, hey, this ain't the time you sit on your hand and get scared. You be looking at God dog on Levi, see all 70,000 people in there, say it's 4th and 2. We got the better talent. Go in there. Hey, Trent Williams, you know the play. Let's go. Downset Hut.
Yeah, we might want to do that just because of our kicker, but that's a different conversation. The
hey,
now
I try to be ballsy, God dog. I ain't want to bring that up.
But the other reason why the running game is so important is what does that give your wide receivers a chance to do on those run plays? Put their hands on those DBs and get physical with those DBs. Wear those DBs down. And it puts them in a bad position, like when they actually do get a chance to run those routes, like because they don't know which way you're going, and they're just tired of getting blocked the whole game. Like so that is another aspect of it that I don't know if Green Bay is ready for, like because they're gonna get blocked though. They're not gonna get that from Dallas. They were never gonna get that from Dallas, but they're gonna get it on every single running play from the 49ers. I can't wait to see Juwan Jennings get out there again, too, by the way.
Listen here. Look, that's what I'm saying. Just how I like to say GP. Just how GP alone. I want Jennings, I want Debo, and I want Brandon Ayuk going head-to-head with the safeties and the god doggone nickel and the cornerback. I need them grabbing them up and let them know I'm going to hem you up. I'm not going to grab you. I'm going to hem you up. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to hem you up, and I'm going to block you or pancake you until you're in the ground. Because what I need to do as well, it's not about my offensive linemen who can go out here and block, and they do this thing in 49ers. Like, it ain't just them putting the hard hat on. I need my tight ends got the hard hat on. My right receiver got the hard hat on. My fullback got the hard hat on. Everywhere we go, we bring in the pain and we bring the physicality there.
And you don't know where it's coming from.
Don't know where. You know what I'm saying?
Like your head is on a swivel. Like even as a defensive lineman, your head is on the swivel like at all times because you don't know who's going to hit you from what direction.
Man, it's worse than a bang bro game bang. You don't know where the head coming from, boy. You just got to have your head on swivel. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying like but it's so like offensive, just like a little bit of an offensive comparison. What part of Green Bay's offense? Let's talk about their offense for a minute. What do you think could cause the 49ers defense a little bit of problems?
Missed tackles. The same thing that
Yes.
I've been saying since week 1, and I know we
They
won the
did.
game.
They didn't do have bad. Not the last game because that was all
Yeah,
second stringers, but the game before. But even against the Ravens, they didn't do have bad on the tackling.
they didn't do bad on the tackling, but I mean the Ravens game was well. Hold on, let me see. Just for this
Wait, no, it
game,
wasn't
yeah,
the
yeah,
Ravens game. It was the Washington game. I'm sorry, like it was
yeah.
the Washington game.
Um,
Because the Ravens game it was terrible.
turnovers, you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
for this game here, you definitely to me tackle. Don't over pursue. I know a lot of times we can be so anxious that we have tackle and we don't go through the body. And this is for Fred Warner. You're great, but Fred, a lot of times we call the proper plays, but we over pursue or we miss tackles in the backfield, and therefore a 3rd and 4 or a 2nd and 6, that could have been a 2nd and 5 now is a 3rd and 1. And a lot of times we don't understand that, but those couple of 3-4 yards continue to keep that chain game moving. And a lot of times during the end of the year, our defensive line begin to get tired, and that's when the running game begin to be opened up in that middle. And so we don't want that smoke, you know what I mean? So we got to make sure we tackle. We got to be containing our gap assignments as far as the inside as well. They got a good interior push from what's the big guy name? Frank Clark or something like that, whatever his name. Not Frank Clark. The big boy, the big defensive tackle, man.
Shoot, I should have brought the.
But he's good. Kenny Clark, I think, or something like that. But he's a good D tackle, man, and he knows how to get
Clark. They have the Clark brothers, right?
something like that.
They're not brothers, but they call them the Clark brothers
Yeah.
or something like
And
that.
so when you get pushed up the middle, man, that's always dangerous. And so, hold on. You know what? I'm talking about defense right now. Let me not get on the offense. But anyway, long story short, man, just make sure we tackle good. I think Eric Armstead will be a big guy coming back, bringing the energy alongside with Dre Greenlaw as well. Kenny Clark, yeah. And I think Dre Greenlaw has to be the best linebacker on the field tomorrow. I know that may sound strange to some people in the chat or who may watch this, but I'm telling you this right now. If Dre Greenlaw is the best linebacker on that field tomorrow, you'll know why I said it tomorrow. That's all I'm gonna say. If he's the best linebacker on that field tomorrow, you know why I would say that.
Yeah, and I'll give you 2 reasons. I'll give you 2 reasons. One thing is he probably didn't. That means he probably didn't get any roughing penalties. And then the other reason would be because he probably got a highlight reel knockout and set the tone on somebody.
Yes, somebody got up holding Somebody got up holding a rib. Somebody got up holding a kidney. Somebody got up holding something. You know what I'm saying? But they was in pain. You know what I mean? He was not feeling great.
But yeah, that's the key with Greenlaw because he's flying around and he's hitting somebody. Somebody's getting hit
for sure.
Like, but it's all about does the ref throw the flag on? Like, because it's almost silly because they just anyway. We're not gonna get into that conversation.
Exactly.
I feel like he gets targeted a lot.
He does a lot.
Like, and sometimes it's not even worth a penalty, but it is what it is.
For sure, man.
But so what part of their offense? What part of their offense do you think is going to be like? Because I know we say that that Fred's got to be that guy, but who is he? Who is it that he's got to stop?
Fred. Who does he have to? Oh, Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think so. I think he's the key to that offense
for sure. Easy. My fellow lock brother got to stop my other fellow lock brother, man. You got to lock him up. You know what I'm saying? And don't let him out. You know what I mean? If you cut the head off that snake right there, man, I believe we'd be in a good position because he did play dynamic. Man, he was able to hit those holes. His ability to cut back was nasty. His run after first contact was nasty as well. I believe he brought an overall great running game to that to the Dallas Cowboy game the other day, man. And you just got to respect what he went out there and did once again. He was dynamic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I mean, truth be told, their offensive line was they dominated. They dominated that in that game. Like the Cowboys are known for their defensive line, and Green Bay just kind of went over there and just kind of pushed him out of the way. And Aaron Jones had his way, but I think that a main player as well we got to look at is he's just coming back from injury is Eric Armstead. And who is that? And then who is that going to give a rest to now? He doesn't have to be out there the whole game. Is Javon Kinlaw, who plays well in a rotation. Like he just can't be out there the whole game.
Yeah. And our D line was built that way, you know. I mean, last year we had, I think, 12 defensive linemen. That was a record for the National Football League at the time. Like Chris Cassari always keep a lot of individuals on that D line to rotate to try to keep these guys fresh. And so with Kinlaw, like you said, he wasn't used to go out there playing 60 snaps. Probably, man, that's too much for him. But when you put him in there and he's in a compact situation where he only got to go out there on downs that he know he just need to stick his nose down in the ground and take up two defenders, you know what I mean? I think he's been really good this year. So I'm excited because I know Eric Armstead has been talking about his production during the playoffs. So what that lens or what that tells me is that he likes to watch his tape. He likes to watch his tape when he plays well. And then it also shows me that he has extreme confidence that he believes he's supposed to do great things in the playoff. And I don't think a lot of people understand that what film means. This is where Dak Prescott, when he looks at the playoff, he doesn't have the film necessary to think that my average is playing good. See, somebody like Eric Armstead can look and say, you know what? I want to look at my playoff film because on average, I play above average. You see what I'm saying? And so with that being said, that's just confidence. That aura begins to reach. So he's going out there thinking he's supposed to make plays. This is where manifestation comes into play. This is where belief becomes to play. You know what I mean? And so without belief, you can't have the proper action. So therefore, a person like that can galvanize his team. Look at a Chase Young, look at a Hargrave, look at a Nick Bosa and say, hey, man, let's go out here and dominate.
I 100% agree with you. Now, let's talk about their weapons a little bit, like and the comparison between the Green Bay's weapons and the 49ers weapons. So we talked a little bit about we got guys that are kind of battle tested at this point, and all they know is the NFC Championship game. And now you got Green Bay, who does have, I mean, we know the players. Like if you're football junkies, you know who their weapons are, but they're not household names yet. And that you only become a household name when you play in the playoffs. But is there any one of those guys other than Aaron Jones? Like, I mean, how dangerous are these weapons? And to the 49ers defense, is there really a guy that they're really going to have to worry about?
So I believe Christian Watson. He's been injured. He's always injured. He always got speed when he come back, though.
Yes, he does. And he's big. He's like 6'4".
Yeah, so one thing that we do not have, we have some size back there, but we don't have speed back there. You know what I mean? And what we don't want to happen is either a guy get beat or he's beat and then he gets extremely handsy. You know what I mean? And so we got to make sure our safeties are safe. You know, we got to make sure they're playing that back like never before. I believe Gibson has done a wonderful job. I'm a little bit scared because I hear Wilkes talk highly of Logan Ryan and also Jair Brown at the same time. And so we know that Logan Ryan started off as a corner. He's transitioning to a safety. I heard Steve Wilkes talk about his experience in the Super Bowls and so on and so forth. But at the same time, I don't mind the rookie playing back there using the athleticism and his knack for catching the ball as well. So I hope we stick with the young boy, even though we know the older guy has some experience, especially since he just coming in during the back end of the season, you know. And with that being said, as long as my man eyes don't get caught in the backfield and he continues to make sure things are staying in front of him, we should be okay. You know what I mean? And so that's the guy I'm looking out for. Christian Watson in the tight end. As long as we stop Christian Watson from getting the deep ones, and stop the tight end from getting the mediocre stuff, Reed going to get his, but I think we're going to hit him very hard. That's who I think. That little guy, he going to run across that drag route one time, and I truly believe Trey Greenlaw will try to decapitate my man. He'll be looking like Sleepy Hollow out there, but yeah. About that.
Yeah, I think the thing that not scares, like, but I think the thing that I look at is the fact that they don't really have a guy.
Mm-hmm.
They
I'm
don't
right
really
here.
have a guy. Christian Watson would be the closest thing to it, right? Like, but at the same time, they don't have a guy, and sometimes that can be problematic for a defense because they don't really know, they don't have a guy to really key on, and now you just got to play straight up, and that's when holes kind of pop up because some guy plays above himself or whatever or whatever the case is that leaves it open just for Jordan Love just to look for the open man, but I think I don't worry so much about Christian Watson because Mooney Ward doesn't really struggle against bigger wide receivers.
Uh-huh.
Like when if they're big guys, like those guys getting locked down. Like it's I'm not worried about those guys at all. But what I worry about is those quick guys, those little quick guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Reed for me. The guy that scares me the most is Jalen Reed, because he's their home run hitter, and he's the guy that can run through the defense. And as we all know, we just talked about it. We don't have a ton of speed on this defense. So if they let a guy get behind him, I mean, it is what it is. And Jordan Love's got the arm strength to get it there.
And you know how many catches he had last week?
I didn't even look.
0.
But I know he was cutting it up in fantasy from time to time.
He had 0. He had 0 last week. So
he had 0?
Yeah. So with that being said, somebody like him to have 0 catches has been the number one target for them pretty much this whole year. You looking at
that just means he's due.
He's due. You know what I mean? So keep your eyes on him.
Yeah. I think like for the 49ers, I would say that those are the guys that give them the most problems is the little quick guys, like because they just run through the zone. But we're gonna talk about the defense a little bit because we're gonna get out of here in a minute.
For sure.
But the defensive comparison. So what do you think is what's the biggest well, I guess we already talked about it. You said Fred. But can the D line get pressure on Love? Because we haven't talked about the D line. And in the past, in the playoffs, the 49ers defensive line has a history of kind of slowing down. They don't really get as much pressure on the quarterback as they do during the regular season. Do you think that's going to be an aspect this year, or do you think that they are, because in the past they've had injuries, but they're I feel like they're all getting healthy at the right time. Like, do you think that that's going to be an issue in this game?
I know we talked about this a little bit earlier on, but this is where I gotta tell Debo, hey man, I'm not Debo Bosa. Like again,
yeah,
if you are who you are, that's when the offensive line have to shift, have to bring in a tight end. So now I can't call the plays that I normally would call. I have to make sure I have a chipper over here. I got to make sure I lean, the offensive line to this side over here. So now you have the Hartgrave Chase Young combination. A little bit. It's different now. The coverages is different as far as the blocking scheme that they're going to go against. And so I think if he's playing like a man possessed, when you look at it, you're like, oh God, he's playing at a different speed.
Yeah.
I believe that's what will set us off. That's the one thing why I think the 49ers went and got what's the guy D4 that one time. You just saw his explosiveness coming off the God dog, bro. Like I could tell, y'all better he's going to get a sack in the next couple of minutes if y'all don't send help over there to that guy away. Same thing with Von Miller. He used to have that type of ability where you look, you like, man, it's like this every time. You better help out. And I believe Nick has to have one of those games where it's like, bro, Jordan Love finna be heartbroken in a minute. Y'all better send some help over there. And I believe Hargrave and Eric Armstead, that two tandem in the middle will begin to really cause havoc where now Jordan Love, who maybe trails backwards with the length of Armstead in his face, that's when the probability of us getting a tip pass or something like that will kind of come in our favor. So Nick Bosa, go out there and be excellent, my guy. You can do it.
Yeah. I mean, For me, I go back to Eric Armstead and getting the push in that the middle of that like that's something that we haven't had for the last few games, and it really shows up to me in the pass rush aspect of it. Do they still get sacks from time to time? Yes, but it's just not. I feel like when Eric Armstead and Javon Hargrave are in the middle of that defensive line together, it's different. It's going to be different. And now you're going to have because I don't think Chase Young was playing with them by the time Eric Armstead was already out by that time. I want to say because he's been out for a while.
He was there, but he wasn't. He was already battling injury. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I believe he'll be back, but more so at 100% compared to the 60s, 70% he was playing in. So you need to get the full gamut of what he could bring to the doggone defensive line.
Yeah, so I really look for Eric Armstead's impact on this defensive line and for them to push the pocket in the middle. If they can do that, because this is I'm gonna say it again. This is a pretty solid Green Bay offensive line. So they're gonna need every ounce of all that rotation to wear these guys down, and they're gonna need that push in the middle for those ends to kind of collapse. And do you think that they're gonna play some more of the contain, pass rush that they've been doing this year, like way more, which I to be honest, I love it.
I think with anything, you want to keep things in front of you. You don't want them guys to we want to predict where these guys can go to far as the routes is concerned. So they probably would do that and make sure Jordan Love stay in front of them. You just got, again, the pressure is going to be with Eric Armstead back up that middle. If you can contain on the outside where a guy like him who can throw it off platform can get out on the edges and make some things happen, you don't want it to happen for him. And so, again, like you said, keep containment, but you got to get that push. And you got to make sure that underneath is taken care of too as well. So even if you do get that push, you don't want to overly do it, run too far up, and then he can have that middle far as between that A and B gap where he can run in where he wants to. You don't want that to happen as well. You hope that he will be looking down the field to gonna throw the ball down there. But if he feel like today's the day that he look and say, you know what, I'm gonna run, that's when we could have some issues. But then at the same time, that's when a guy like a Dre Greenlaw or Fred Warner playing that little QB spy role need to make sure they can pop him, hit him hard, and make him say, you know what, I'm young. This ain't what I want right now. You know what I'm saying? Let me reconsider. Let me read some literature on this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I got a lot of years left.
Yeah.
I got a lot of years left. Like, so we got to talk about this. Everybody's talking about especially all the Green Bay fans. All the Green Bay fans talking about, 49ers had all this time off that everybody's talking about they're going to come out flat. Do you think the 49ers have a letdown and come out flat?
They better not. I'm gonna
be pissed.
I would be too. Like, man, if y'all can't understand what happened last week as a big old red flag for you guys to wake up and make sure your game on tight. And if Kyle can't sit there and say, hey man, we need to play. I don't need you playing. They used to tell Michael Jordan this back in the day. I need you to don't play angry, but play extremely not disciplined, but you're definitely like zone in though. You know what I mean? Because sometimes if your emotions are pouring over too much, you can do something crazy and get that, they legal hit on somebody, and you don't want that to happen. But at the same time, controlled violence, man. Listen here. You go out there, you play hard, but play smart. You know what I mean? Now, Armstead, I don't want you to wrap him up, then let him go. I need you to wrap him up and you know what I'm saying, and take him down to the ground, but just don't fall on him. You know what I mean? Like, we need to make sure we do these things early and often, because then you can mess up their confidence as well. Because at the same time, I don't think he know the playoff is I scored, and was productive moving the ball. He hasn't been set up with the situation saying that, ooh, I was stopped 3 and out. Ooh, I was stopped 4 plays. I had to punt the ball. Like, he's not used to that. So when you put that in their mind, just like it can help for them being a team coming there, it can help for us being for a team being at home to establish those things and make sure that they're not ready for what we got for them boys. So better not be out there playing slow, man. God dog it.
Yeah, man. I will be Woo! Like I don't like to curse on my show,
Yeah.
but after that instant reaction show, if that happens,
Mother
it's
bleepers.
yeah. We're gonna have the full on bleep show that day, and like I'll be so hot, like if that happens. But okay, so final key, your final key for this game. What the 49ers got to do to win? Period. Point blank.
Kyle Shanahan, do not, and I mean do not. Hey, Kyle.
It's about to get serious.
Mr. Conservative, leave
Yeah.
leave him at home. Wherever you live at, leave him there.
Yeah.
I said this earlier. If it's 4th down and 2, and we inside the 10-yard line, hey man, I need you to drop your sack down and put him on the table. You hear me? I need you to make sure that you leave no stone unturned. I need you to make sure to let your team know that I believe in you guys, that I would call the play, that when it says Imano, I think my guys are better. I think my guys are stronger. I think my guys are hungrier. I think my guys want it more. I think my guys are willing to leave their life on this grass more so than their guys are. I believe that. So I'm going to call this play and I'm going to put this game in your hands. I'm going to take the game out of my hands and I'm going to put it in the hands of you players who sweat, who leave their families, who have scratches and blood and every types of things. I'm leaving it in y'all hands. I'm letting you know that I trust you more than any other individual out here, and I'm gonna put it in y'all hands to go out there and grab that god doggone victory. You do understand me? I need Kyle to do that. Let them boys know that we have the talent, we have the experience, we have the skill set. Just imano, we are better than them. That's what I need Kyle to tell them boys tomorrow. Believe. Put the battery in the back like we should see when we was younger. That little rabbit, you know what I'm saying? That little bunny, you know what I'm saying? That you remember how that bunny be hitting and going. I need Kyle to put that battery in their back, man, so they can know they can keep going like the little engine that could. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Wayans brothers.
Yeah. So I like what you said. And I'm gonna go take it a little further because my key to this game is absolutely Kyle Shanahan. But the key for me is what we talked about earlier is run the ball, Kyle. I'm gonna look you in your eye, just like I don't have any sunglasses to take off, but look me in my face right now. I need you to run the ball, bro. Like, I mean, you got a stable of running backs. Like, it doesn't have to even just be CMC. I just want you to run the ball and run offense. Make it easier on your quarterback.
Yes.
Like just assert your will on this team and let your offensive line do the work. You got the gorilla on the one side and Trent Williams with Aaron Banks right next to him. That left side of the line, can't nobody stop it. And if they do stop it, that means that play action is going to be wide open.
Yeah.
So once again, keep it simple, stupid, and just go in there and win a game. It's not about making yourself look like the smartest guy in the room. I just need you to go in there and win a game.
Hey, the faithful, I need y'all to be out there. Listen here, man. I need y'all to act like y'all at a soccer stadium. I need to feel when we played in Mexico last year, man, I was on the other side of my TV like, oh my God, now that's a fan. They don't even know who on our football team. They just cheering. But the energy that them boys had, I need the faithful to come out here, man. Listen here. If you see somebody sitting down, they got a jersey on, you look at them in the face and say, you should have sold your ticket, god dog it. Hey, listen here. I need you to stand your butt up. And this is a standing room stadium only, god dog it. And I need everybody to just look around here and feel the god doggone energy and the vibration coming from this doggone Levi Stadium, because at the end of the day, we don't have to leave here. You feel me?
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Nope. Like, listen here.
Like, we can't be taking over stadiums and then don't show up in our own. Like, faithful needs to come out and just let everybody know that what it is every time we go to travel to other stadiums, it's times 20.
Facts.
at the crib.
Y'all need me
At
out
the crib. At the crib, you don't want to come to the crib because we're gonna be partying all night.
all night long. We go out. Listen here. Throw away your indica and you need to get you some fever, okay? Throw it. No, we don't need to be relaxed. We don't need a muscle to be calm. I need you on the stevia. You know what I'm saying? The what is it,
Yeah,
stevia,
oh,
whatever
goodness.
it is, the S1. I need y'all in the
Yeah.
day. Roll that up. Leave the indica
Yeah.
alone, god dog. We need you hype. We need you ready. You know what I'm saying? We some head buster. We some head buster. We a knock a hater out. I need y'all out here. I'm ready to fight. You know what I'm saying? Listen.
Yeah. Like I always think of that Lil Jon
Lil Johnny, he's
Lil Jon and
boy.
Trick Daddy. That Lil Jon and Trick Daddy song, the Let's Go song. I know
if you want it, you
anyway.
can get it. Let me know.
Yeah, let me know.
I'm about to.
I.
Look. Hey, and this is to be offensive for Sweetie and Polo. I know y'all try to put the song out there for the San Francisco 49. Man, listen here, boy. This is not time for that. You should have had some drums, some 808. You need to have
energy.
You need to have some
energy.
thud. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have something where I could turn that joker up, man, and just be. You could have had one verse repeating the same word. Just some banging on that mug. Like, bro, you gave me that little bit of sauce, man. I was like, oh God, I ain't gonna fake like I like it.
Yeah, you just old. You just old.
Like,
but it's okay. But okay, we're about to get out of here.
For sure.
But score prediction. Score prediction. What's your score?
We win by 1 point. I don't do score point. I don't do score. Look, we win. We score more points than they score, man. Yeah. I hate score predictions, man. Mainly because they're score predictions, man. I'm usually better after the first half, but because I gotta know, I can go thinking what I think my team can do, but I know this game is 90% mental, man. And if you ask me after the first kickoff what the score prediction is, I have a better answer for you. Like when I see that first hit, I'm like, okay, I know what they about right now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But and it's hard for me to give you the answer right now. But we win. We get the W.
Yeah, I am actually gonna go. I'm gonna go 30-17.
Okay.
49ers. Like I think that 49ers are gonna score.
I
think Brock Purdy's gonna come out there and he's gonna look nice. And I think that this team did not come all this way to lose to a 9-8 team. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
And I just think that they're going to go out there, they're going to assert their dominance, and they're going to set the tone for the next game after that. I mean, I want them to beat Green Bay so bad that they lose game 1 next year.
Oh, okay.
That's how I feel about it.
So y'all gonna remember this.
Yeah. Well, you know that stupid stat that we had that they would, whoever played us was going to lose that next game. We would be beating teams so bad that they were going to lose the next game. That's what I want to happen. So, I think it's going to be 30-17 and yeah, I think that the 49ers assert their dominance, but man, Twin.
Hey, last thing before I get up out of here.
You on. Okay.
I'm old school. I'm from below the Mason-Dixie line, man, in Mississippi. We call these Negro spiritual. This is one Negro spiritual called by the singer named James Cleveland. It's called I Don't Feel No Ways. And how the lyrics go, we used to sing this in church, especially grew up in the Baptist church. Shout out to Zion Hill, #1 Baptist church, you know what I'm saying? It says, I don't feel no ways tired. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. So to all my Niner fans and all the faithful out there, y'all know where we started from. Ain't no way we ain't came all the way from there to here for him to leave us. We must go out there and finish the race. So God dog it, let's go. Bang, bang. Not a game. Let's do it for the Bay. You know what I'm talking about?
I feel you. And Twin, why don't you tell them one more time where they can find you on the socials? before we get out of here?
Man, it's right here. Twin Empire. Just put an underscore right there. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button. Would you do so, please? And then also you can go over there to the X app. I ain't talking about Dez Bryant, but you go over there. I ain't talking about Professor Xavier either. But go into the X app, same thing, Twin Empire underscore as well, man. Follow your boy Twin. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Well, you can't subscribe to that channel, but you know, subscribe to my my YouTube, my Twitter page as well, man. And you know what?
And the link is in the description on the video on mine.
And also, if you come from my channel, man, y'all make sure y'all go over there. Y'all see Not a Fanatic Pod as well. Y'all make sure y'all follow my boy Pod, man. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel as well. Make sure you hit the notification button too. And the same thing on his Twitter. You know what I'm saying? We got teamwork make the dream work, baby. You know what I'm saying? So you already know what it's about to be.
I'm absolutely.
Up, and I ain't ready to sleep.
And once again, make sure you get the video a like. Make sure you give it subscribe. Make sure that you hit the bell so you get the notifications for when we go live. And
answer that question real fast, man. Real fast. Yeah. Ronnie says, "What's the biggest matchup are you looking forward to?" Real quick.
Oh, wrong
one.
What's the biggest matchups am I looking for? This is the thing. Kyle doesn't do matchups. Like so, but I would say, okay, I'm gonna say Brock Purdy versus I'm gonna say Brock Purdy versus this defense.
Okay.
That's gonna be the key to the game, because I feel like Kyle trusts Brock Purdy so much that Kyle's gonna make that the biggest thing of the game. What's yours?
Biggest matchup. Stay right there, baby. The biggest matchup will be for me. Oh, the D line versus
that's a hard one.
Yeah, the D line versus their offensive line.
That is a good matchup.
Yeah,
like that is going to be a really good matchup. But so now y'all know what it is. Y'all know you're ready for the game tomorrow. 7 o'clock? Well, it's 7 o'clock my time, so 5 o'clock Pacific. Yeah, because all y'all on the West Coast.
Midwest, baby. We in the Central over here, baby.
But yeah, for sure. And but make sure that you guys get ramped up.
Yes.
Enjoy this game. Enjoy the feeling of the playoffs. Not every team gets a chance to see their team in the playoffs as much as the 49ers have in these last few years. Enjoy it. Enjoy this team. Enjoy seeing history made. So
yes.
But with that, we're going to get out of here. Always love having Twin in. He is always welcome. And make sure that you go follow him and subscribe to his channel. And yeah, we will see you. I will be having. Are you going to be doing any shows?
Today or tonight or tomorrow?
Not today, but
man, I'm gonna hop on somebody's show tomorrow. I ain't gonna
tomorrow?
lie. I'm gonna hop on. I don't know who, but I'm gonna like, hey, I'm a free agent, man.
I'm gonna be on. You are more than welcome. I'm going to do an instant reaction show right after the game. So I will be here.
I'm gonna be everywhere. Hey.
Yeah. Oh no. Hey. It's gonna be cheersing it up.
Man, listen here. You don't know. I got up to get my my charger for my laptop. I dang near cried, man. You heard it.
Oh wow.
Hey, cash out.
I heard
Twin Empire. You know what I'm saying? Cash out Twin Empire. You know, feel free to.
But yeah, I will be on tomorrow. So y'all can come in and party with us after the win that is coming tomorrow. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a great rest of your evening. Y'all have just enjoy this game. Just enjoy this game. But we're gonna get out of here. But this dude too goofy.
Jamie Winston, baby.
Yeah.
How you eating crab legs?
Go Niners.
Let's get it.